As the great Bill O'Reilly once said, fuck it, we'll do it live.
It was Prime Bill.
Good old Bill. He was the best.
He's not dead. That's funny that we talk about him like that, but he's not dead.
Right, we talk about him like he's fucking gone.
Like his
Like
past.
he's
He
still
was on
right.
tour, I think, this year, wasn't he? Like,
I don't know what the fuck he's doing now. But anywho, we'll get right into the nitty gritty tonight. Let's get this show on the road.
You're about to witness the strength of creep knowledge.
Good evening. Welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 214. Sweep the leg, Johnny. Returning to the program this evening, Bronx Johnny from High Society Radio.
hey, Chris.
From the Ron and Fez Show.
Yeah.
One of my favorite radio programs of all time. Just off the Eastside Dave McDonald Show, weren't you?
Yeah, that was a good time inside the Davy Mac Sports Show. You can find that Davy Mac Sports on iTunes, Spotify, and I think Davy Mac Country or Eastside Dave Country.
Yeah,
It's on there.
good old Davey.
Yeah,
I remember him on Ron and Fez. Oh my God. The Midnight Rider.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite Eastside Dave McDonald bits of all time.
Oh yeah, man. Yo, he lived that shit. That's the thing with Dave. He goes full De Niro, and he just fucking lives those bits. It's insane.
Oh my God.
He lost weight. I could have eased. Maybe in the span of 2 months, he lost about maybe 25, 30 pounds doing that bit.
Holy shit.
He was just like in it.
Frank Smith from Ireland says hello. Good evening, Frank. Frank, did you just change your profile on Facebook? I got to know. I got a new friend request from you. I'm pretty sure it's you.
Nice.
You got to confirm this for me, Frank. Frank likes to collect all kinds of different weird animals like praying mantises and
Like alive or taxidermy?
no, like alive. He like raises this shit.
That's
He
awesome.
does some weird creatures in his house.
Ooh.
Like I imagine like Frank's woken up to like baby praying mantises all over his bed, which I would freak out to. And I imagine Frank is like, "Hey, little lovelies."
I was gonna say that sounds pretty cute. I love praying mantis.
Good pets. They make good. I had a friend in the military. He had it for a while.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of that thing, but it was kind of cute. It was all right.
Yeah.
Did I just leave my fucking phone on? I did. Like a jackass. Anyhow. Yeah, I've had a fuck of a week. So I had planned on having some stuff for you when you came on. I totally fucked up. It was my bad.
I don't know about it.
No, I had thought you were, when you and I had spoken, I had thought you were going to be on the show last week. And so
you had your dates mixed up on that one.
Right.
Hey, I caught COVID in between then, so we've both been busy.
So then I messaged you and I'm like, yeah, you good for the show on Monday? And you were like, yeah, on the 9th, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I was like, oh, shit. So I was working on something at that point. And then shit went sideways for me. So I wasn't able to do that. So I figured we'd do something a little different tonight. But yeah, I've had a pretty crazy week. Frank Smith says, yes, he started a new profile and he has a baby crocodile now.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, he has a baby crocodile.
That's awesome.
So, which segues me into my first question for you of the night, Johnny.
Yeah.
Are there crocodiles in the sewers in New York?
I would like to say yeah, but I don't think there's no way they could live.
You are absolutely correct, Johnny. We have checked with the judges. You are correct. We also would accept if you said no, they weren't, or maybe.
I would go with maybe, just because I don't know what's going to be the sustenance, like the homeless and the rats down there.
Well, I've heard conflicting reports on the whole alligators / crocodiles in the sewers. That yes, there are people who have flushed them. Yes, there have been instances where they've pulled them out. But they keep saying that it's a myth, that it can't happen.
I mean, like they need a certain amount of. I don't even know they have salt water in the sewers. I'm ignorant like that. I'm not sure if
Right.
Don't they have to need salt
Crocodile.
water
I
there?
don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Because crocodiles, I think, have to have salt water, or certain
Yeah.
ones do. But alligators, I think, I don't know. I'm completely ignorant to it. So
What was the movie with Burt Reynolds where he had to fight a gator? There was a movie called Gator, but it ain't that one.
the only one I remember is what the fuck is the name of that one? Lake Placid with Betty White.
That one was good, yeah. But no,
That's a
there was
great
one.
one.
I think it's like the '80s, and some kid flushes it down, and then all hell breaks loose a couple of months later. And they call it Burt Reynolds to goddamn kill it.
That one I don't know. I did see. I
It is
kind of
called Gator.
saw.
Is that also
is?
no? There's one
Yeah.
that's Gator, where he's like a mob guy in New Orleans or some crazy.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Yep.
Burt
no,
Reynolds
you're
was
right.
the best.
Just put Burt Reynolds versus alligator and see what pops up.
And I saw that. I kind of saw that movie, but didn't see it. The movie Crawl.
Oh, I heard about that. That was they had a flood in New Orleans and the crocodiles go crazy, right?
Right.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out.
My son loved it.
Oh, creature features are the best, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that type of shit. Anything where they can make something that's completely mundane seem horrifying, I'm in.
I think
completely in.
I like Jaws, technically a creature feature, right?
Oh yeah, definitely Jaws is a creature feature.
So I feel like the only guy I was actually cheering for in that whole movie was Quint. I hated everybody else. I hated the rich kid and I hated Brody. I liked Quint though.
But we delivered the boom. The Hiroshima boom. I'll never go into the water again, Chief.
Yeah, I remember the rich kid slept with Brody's wife from the book. I remember that.
Absolutely.
It was implied. I was like, damn, what a piece of shit.
Here's an interesting story. At age 7, I went to the library and took out the book Jaws.
Nice.
I could read very well at age 7. I went into kindergarten being able to like read, because my father's dyslexic, so he taught me to read really early.
Oh, cool.
And I read Jaws.
Nice.
I can't remember if I finished it or whatnot, but what shocks me now as an adult is that my parents wouldn't let me watch MTV because MTV was poisoning the minds of children with how flagrant they were with sex and, whatever. I don't know what the ultimate reason was behind my parents thinking,
It's
but
just insanity, dude. Like I saw, what did I see the other day? I'm in quarantine, so I was watching Forrest Gump just to watch it, and you realize like there's a big thing about Elvis and the way he dances and stuff. There's a lot worse now.
well,
you gotta kind of like gauge yourself.
that was the thing that got me was my parents allowed me to read Jaws.
Yeah.
And literally within the first few pages of Jaws, there is 2 people fucking on the beach. And it's a pretty graphic sex scene.
I mean, I figured it's just because you don't see it. They probably not against it. They probably didn't even think. Did they read it before you did or no?
Fuck no.
All right, there you go. You got away with one.
They just thought, they were like, oh, he's reading a book, so that's good. And then they let me read like Stephen King shit. And Stephen King writes some pretty fucking horrid shit.
Yeah. He leaves it up to your imagination too. He's pretty good with that.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Gary Boylis says alligators are freshwater creatures, crocodiles are saltwater. Perfect. In my opinion, it's more logical to think of alligators in the sewer as opposed to crocodiles.
That makes more sense.
But who knows? I'm going with there's probably been a couple of alligators that have gotten pretty big down in the New York sewers.
I'm going to say, how warm does it stay down in the sewers in the winter months? That's my question.
they have like they have those heating pipes that run through there, but I don't know how that affect the water.
Yeah, I don't know. I myself don't know. I'm speculating as a fucking jackass weirdo on the internet right now, I'm saying I'm going with alligators in the sewers. I think there has been some.
There
I don't
probably
know if
been some. There has to be like a story where they caught one or two. I don't know if they could survive down there though, because I think certain creatures need sunlight. I know they hunt at night, but they do need sunlight.
Yeah. They're a fucking lizard, basically. So yeah, they need to absorb some type of UV. I think Frank Smith said that they need some UV. So, and he's pretty knowledgeable in that shit. Like I said, he raises all kinds of shit.
See, look, you brought up a good point, and we're not showing our ass. So far, so good, Chris.
So my week got kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The other day, I work night shift. So the other day I got home and my wife had texted me a picture of the trash over, and the text that said, "I hate the dogs."
Oh,
and which, rightly so in the moment. And I'm like, oh shit. So I come home and I check through the trash because I know I do dabs.
Oh, okay.
And anytime you clean out your dab tools, the straw or whatever, you have all this garbage in there you got to get rid of. I don't save it, but it collects on a fucking little mat, and I throw away like a ball of it. Well, I hadn't thrown it away for a while.
Yeah.
And I had thrown away this humongous ball of dabs, and it was missing.
Oh, no.
Could not find it in the trash. But the dogs seemed fine.
Yeah.
So I went to bed. At 12:30, I woke up to an interesting smell. Can't quite describe it. But it smelled horrid.
All right.
And I picked up my head, looked down to the bottom of my bed, and my bed was covered in puke.
Oh.
And I mean, one whole side of my bed, just vomit.
Oh, no.
Top to bottom. So I'm like, what the fuck? I jump up, I look, and as soon as I pop up, my dog, Una, is shaking to beat shit. And anytime I go to pet her, she is jumping. And I mean, like, seriously jumping. Like, freaked out whenever I put my hand near. Almost like I'm going to hit her or something. But never fucking happened.
Got like the yips.
Yeah, she got all fucked up. So I immediately went to go pick her up. She went to go get off the bed and fell on the floor and fell. I mean, like her legs went right out from underneath her. So I picked her up, put her in a laundry basket, cleaned everything up. And I wound up calling out of work for the night because I was so fucking concerned about her.
Yeah, rightfully so.
And I sat with her for most of the night. I went to bed for a little while, for like a few hours, and got up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Over 12 hours later, she was still wobbly.
Oh no!
Yeah,
but you said it was a big ball too, right?
Oh yeah, it was a humongous ball of fucking just basically like resin from dabs. It's not like the black resin from like your bowls or your shit like that. This stuff is like, it's like an amber color, but it's still got THC in it.
Gotcha.
So anyway, Steve is in the chat. Good old Steve Alcorn has joined the program in the chat this evening. Good evening, Steve. Because people were asking, where is he? He doesn't do the show anymore, folks. He comes on occasion. On occasion. As he said right here, I'm retired.
Oh.
And Frank Smith says, hello, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Steve's a good dude, man.
People love Steve. Steve is great. So that happened to me this week. So that was fun. It was a good fucking time. It's just been a crazy, crazy time. I also got wrapped up in and tried to get Katie wrapped up in this new show on Hulu/FX, I think it is. But I know it's on Hulu. Under the Banner of Heaven. Have you heard of this?
I've heard of it. I haven't caught it yet. I didn't even know it was out already.
Oh,
it's with Andrew Garfield, right?
What's that?
Andrew Garfield's in it, I think.
Yep, Andrew Garfield.
I gotta check it out.
He plays a Mormon police officer, detective. And it's about this group of Mormons in I assume it's in Utah. Pretty sure it all takes place there, who become extremely radical. And it happened in like 1984, I think.
And it's based on a true story?
Yes. And this woman and her 15-month-old baby get killed.
Oh no.
Yep. I'm not going to ruin anything for you. It goes from there. Like, that's the way the show starts out. Is he goes to the scene and sees the mother and the baby killed, and then they start the investigation. And it's a great show. I've gotten so wrapped up in it. I bought the book that it's based on. I can't remember who wrote it, but it's by the same name, Under the Banner of Heaven. I think I'm going to read it after I'm finished with the book series that I'm reading right now. I'm going to take a break in between trilogies of the book series that I'm reading right now and read that one-off book. So that I can, because I want to get caught up on the story. It is such a great, like, the show has me fucking riveted.
What's crazy is, like, I guess because in Mormons, they did a wonderful job. I've never heard of it. Like, I'm usually pretty up to, like, cult stuff, but
Jesus.
Oh,
cars going by. It's. Have you seen that other documentary on the Mormons there, Murder Among the Mormons, that they had on Netflix?
No, I'm not up on anything Mormon. I haven't even seen the Book of Mormon. Not that I hate anybody.
Oh my God. So this is something you should definitely check out. If you have not checked it out, you should check out Murder Among the Mormons on Netflix.
That was a really good one.
Yes. It was about this guy who supposedly found, like, the lost secret writings of Joseph Smith. And he was like this antique book collector who managed to find all of these interesting manuscripts. And then there's like a bombing and people get killed. And they think it's over these manuscripts. Dude, oh my God, it gets so deep.
So you say Mormons are pretty violent people. I never knew that about them.
I think whenever you put inject religion into anything, I think you get fanatics.
Oh, definitely.
I think that no matter what, I think in Christianity, you have fanatics. I think in Catholicism, you have fanatics. I think in Mormonism, you have fanatics. I think in Muslims, you have fanatics. Run the gamut. There's always somebody who is willing to take a religious ideology to a crazy fucking level.
That's the thing with religion, though. You leave it up to interpretation. Everybody has their own belief in whatever. It's on paper. Like, well, they probably didn't mean that, though.
Yeah, just look at Scientology.
Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with Scientology. I don't want any problem with those dudes. we did a family trip.
Tom Cruise to show up at your house?
Dude, we did a family trip in Tampa a couple years ago. We went out there a long time ago. And we went through a town and they were showing, famous people's islands and stuff.
Yep.
And then they brought up
you checked out Epstein's?
No, we didn't see that. Thank God. We saw like Tom Brady stuff, Jeter stuff. Well, not Tom Brady, Jeter and some other athlete. I forget who. But then But then they tell you, oh, hey, we can't take you to that island because that belongs to Scientology. We can't talk about it. We don't want any problems. Like, what the fuck?
Wow.
People go missing on that island? Like,
that's dude. There's some crazy shit with that. We did a show on where is Shelley Miscavige?
Yeah.
The wife of what is it? James Miscavige? Is that his name?
No.
Katie? I can't think of his name right now.
I can't think of his first name either, which is terrible because I follow this shit close and regularly.
Right.
I am on it.
And she has been like missing for so long, and it's creepy.
Probability that she's still alive. What do you think?
I think it's David Miscavige.
Yes, it's David.
Steve threw it. I think she's probably dead.
Yeah.
All right.
She's not alive.
I don't think, and that's my personal opinion. I want to state that for the record.
Yeah, those are factual stuff.
I'm not making any insinuations
Mm-hmm.
against anyone in Scientology.
No shit, dude. They don't play.
They don't fuck around.
They scare the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. They're like, well,
yeah.
So anybody in suspenders knocking on my door.
So, what do you think, Johnny, of the 1984 state that we're living in right now?
Oh, it's crazy, dude. It's
these
are weird times, man.
I don't know where you sit with things, but here's the things that are bothering me recently.
Okay.
The Hunter Biden laptop cover-up. The fact that the media and Twitter and Facebook went after people who tried to report on that initially, and now it's coming out that story was not bullshit.
What do you mean? Hunter Biden does bad stuff?
No.
Are you saying Hunter Biden does some bad stuff?
Oh yeah, he's definitely doing some bad stuff.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I checked up on him, right?
Yeah.
Because before you vote, you got to check. The kid's a Boy Scout. I don't know if he's ever done anything wrong. Could have been anybody's laptop, Chris. Could have been anybody's laptop, dude.
What are you trying to say?
I mean, hey, anybody can look like that. You put on shades, everybody look. I thought that was Epstein myself. That's how I no, that's Jeffrey Epstein. He's like, I thought he was dead. I'm like,
I don't like the way that they're going after anyone who has a dissenting opinion right now.
Yeah, that sucks.
I.e. Joe Rogan. I hate to throw Alex Jones. I don't hate to throw Alex Jones in there. I think Alex Jones has said some incendiary stuff.
Oh yeah, I think. But you know what? With that guy, he knows what he's doing, but he buys off of the people that don't get that.
Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure you've had people hit you up with crazy stuff. I get it. Sometimes I get crazy people like, you'll make a joke. We'll say something in jest, and somebody hit you up, but it's like, oh yeah, amen, brother. Like, I was just joking, dude. I'm
just fucking around, man.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. I was like, yeah, no, it's all right. I'll just put you on this list.
Yeah, so I just find this a constant attack that's going on everyone. It's so. I mean, I was not one of those people who read Animal Farm or 1984 early on in my life. I read it like within the last couple of years.
No, I had a chance to read 1984, and the funniest shit, I lost the book, and it wasn't even mine. It was the school library that I work at.
You can pretty much you can get it so cheap. It's like pretty much free.
No, and I need to read a good book. So I was like, you know what? I kind of want to read it just to get what everybody likes. Oh, this is I know it's about surveillance, like a surveillance state, right?
It is a great. It's a great story. It's a great story about how you can break down a human being.
Yeah, but we've known that CIA makes money selling books on that. So.
But see, I read both. I read 1984. I mean, I read Animal Farm first.
Yeah.
And then I read 1984.
I got to reread Animal Farm. I know I read that in high school. And I remember it's pretty deep. this is a little over my head, but I remember that. This shit is deep.
And I've said so many times on this show recently that we are at the point where they are writing the rules on the barn wall and only a few people can read the rules.
Yeah, it's getting that way, I think.
And they're constantly changing them.
But it sucks too, because like the idea behind social media per se, like your Facebook, your Twitter, everybody's supposed to maybe not unite, but you'd be able to have differential opinions. And what it became was a beehive where you had like-minded people on the same page, and that never worked. I don't know how people do that.
Yeah, and you're gonna have that no matter what.
I like people to disagree with me because if anything, and I shock people by saying this shit, but if you prove me wrong, I'll actually agree with you. Like, you know what, you're right, and I'll have to read up on this.
Right, and I make it a point to talk to people who have opinions that I don't agree with, or who
I think you're better for it, right?
Yeah.
Don't you feel better for it? Not
or
you
I
kind
try
of
to
do learn something.
or I try to listen to people who have opinions that I necessarily. And here's the thing that I find most of the times when I listen to someone that I don't agree with, or that I think that I don't agree with, I wind up finding that I agree with them on more than I thought.
Yeah, that's fair. That's good.
Like, so I'm a huge Anthony Cumia fan.
Yeah.
Like, I listened to Opie and Anthony for years.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a huge fan of Anthony's politics.
Okay.
But when I sit down and listen to him, I find more often than not that I agree with what he has to say if I sit down and listen to it for a minute instead of just knee-jerk reacting to it because, it's something that I don't want to hear about.
Yeah.
So that's something that I do a lot more lately. Like, I have a fucking subscription to Compound Media. I listen to the motherfucker all the time because regardless of how I feel about his political shit, he's hilarious.
Oh, dude's off the chain. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's amazingly hilarious. So, but he's somebody that I listen to. I'll take a fucking peek at Tucker Carlson every so often. And again, I find that on some occasions, I agree with the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But I'm a center guy. I'm a fucking independent guy.
And that's good that's a good thing to be. I think people have it messed up where you have to choose. You don't have to. Why the fuck? You could be, an independent and fiscal conservative. That's a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm getting toward that in my older age. But
yeah, I think we lost sight of that.
Yeah.
We lost sight of that, and this whole thing that's going on right now, like this, left versus right bullshit, and it's us versus them, and it's us versus them on everything.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I want it done. I want it over. I want it to fucking stop.
Yeah.
It's
hopefully it doesn't get worse. Because I feel like there's a counter cancel culture thing going on, which is nice. It's happening a lot sooner than I thought, though, which is good. I think people got tired of that.
Yeah, and I think there is a little bit of pushback.
Yeah, it's about time. It's good, man.
Yeah, and I think there's pushback on both sides. I don't think it's just a right thing. I don't think it's just a left thing. I think it's both. I think there's pushbacks by people who are saying, "Listen, we just don't want this bullshit anymore.
Well,
like, just tell us the truth."
Yeah.
I mean, why is it so hard?
Or even that, just like even if you disagree with somebody, let them at least have their say in it, and then you make up your own judgment. Like, well, I like this guy, and I agree with anything he says. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and we don't need a ministry of fucking truth.
No,
which is basically what they've created now.
It's like those. No, I saw. The Biden council. That's
yeah.
I mean, if they're all the same party, it's like just having a Facebook page all over again. Everybody thinks the same shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and someone else brought up, the Democrats are going to put this fucking thing into place, right? This Ministry of Truth, which is basically what it is. It's the Department of fucking Disinformation or some shit.
That's a good title for it,
right? So the Democrats put it into place, and then the Republicans get into power, and they use it to their ends. It just becomes a tool of the political party that's in power.
I think we came up in an age, right, where we just didn't like any politicians. You didn't trust any fucking politicians. You respected the president. Every kid at one point, like, hey, I'd want to be president. Why not? Now it's like, shit, I'd rather be a social influencer.
Well, nowadays it's different.
Yeah.
I think now way more is laid out. Back when I was growing up, yes, there was, if you paid attention enough, but you had to pay attention to the outlets that were putting it out, you could find out about the bullshit and the crap and the dirty dealings of the people in Washington. Now, in the days of social media, it's in your face.
Yeah.
All the time, every day, 24/7. The 24/7 news clock is running so goddamn fast that they're stuffing 48 hours in a 24 day.
Like, and as many folks as there are in those offices, I don't like any of them, man. Like, I don't trust them. I was like, yo, they can make their own raises, right? They have to agree to sit down, like, we can give us such and such of a raise.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's crazy. I was like, they should leave that shit up to the voters. Every 2 years, you vote whether they deserve a raise and what's the cap on said raise, or if they need to lower their wages and stuff.
Absolutely. And we should also be voting as the people on term limits for them.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because people should not just sit in one of those, positions forever. It shouldn't happen. But I seriously, it scares me right now, the state of things with the media and how very, and everybody's been bringing up how very Orwellian things are right now. It is in no way, anyway, like it's been my entire life. However, in recent months, I have gone back and looked at old news reports from yesteryear. And here's what I've found. The bias that was in them that we think is new to the media is not new.
I mean, it's more apparent now.
Yes. But
like when you're a kid watching it, it's like, yeah, fuck this. I want to see, different strokes. What time's that on? You didn't give a shit.
What you talking about, Willis?
There was a documentary about Ronald Reagan. As a kid growing up, I always thought, hey, Ronald Reagan was cool. Democrat point didn't really matter to me.
And the really hot episode, Johnny, was the one where the guy from WKRP in Cincinnati takes him out behind the bike shop.
Okay. Even when you're a kid, you don't know what it is, but that's not supposed. Like, why would you?
That's right. You're like, why is this going on?
Why would you take your shirt off, man? You don't do that. I called my mother. Why is his shirt off?
Why is the music changing, Mom?
It was. I was like, damn, and I think they had commercials for like Toys R Us and all of that in that episode too.
But yeah, you're right. Like, we just fuck the news. I want to watch Knight Rider or whatever the fuck it was that was on. You wanted to see it.
Yeah, but now they're indoctrinating kids a little bit better. Like they're doing a better job of like starting to feed kids into politics a lot younger. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Like in high school, you didn't give a shit. You didn't know who your congressman was in high school back in the day.
And now it's, you have to have an opinion on everything.
Yep.
It is so, it's gotten to that point where I think
you don't have to be right. You don't have to tell the truth. You just have to have an opinion.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's fine. But just when you start poisoning other minds, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. I kind of, I'm concerned because I have children.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about what we're leaving for them. And I look at the state of things as they are right now, and I worry about how it will be when my kids are older. Because my son's just in college. My daughters are both, just about to leave high school. So I wonder what the world is going to be like.
I mean, it's going to be every 10 years is different, right? That's how you got to look at it. What was old, what was new is gonna be old, and then it's gonna be something different. But then it's also kind of the same.
Frank Smith says it will be like living in a corporate-owned society like OCP owning the police and the government. Medical Robocop has a lot more, and they're watching it now. Listen, I'm gonna say this right now.
Yeah.
I rewatched the Robocop remake with Joel Kinnaman.
Did you like it?
It's a solid movie, Johnny.
Oh, come on, dude.
It's a solid movie.
First one.
It's a solid movie.
Is it better than the first one?
No.
All right.
I mean, listen. Okay, here's the thing that you have to take away from the RoboCop movie.
All right.
They made a new movie. It's a new movie. You know, take away the old movies. There's like fucking 3 of them.
Yeah.
Probably more that went straight to DVD. And God love them. They're great. It's a different movie. I think that the movie that they made in whatever year it was, 2014, 2016, I don't know what year it came out, but the RoboCop, the more recent one, was more focused on what the dude would really go through.
That's a different way of looking at it. Yeah, that's true.
And it was way more about what the doctor was going through, trying to help this patient and also get funding for his research. And it humanized a lot of the story a lot more for me, I think, personally, rewatching it. Because I wanted to rewatch it because I took my son to see it in the theater when it came out. And I was like, when I saw it at first, I was like, this isn't a bad movie. Like, I wasn't like, rah, fucking RoboCop. But I was like, this isn't a bad movie. It's actually a pretty good movie. And I left it. You know, I didn't even think about it after that. And I recently rewatched it, and it's good. Now, another movie which is a total bag of shit is the remake of Total Recall.
I didn't even bother to see that.
Oh my!
As you can tell from the commercial, like
good fucking God. I love Colin Farrell.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not a bad dude.
Colin Farrell is a great actor. Love him. I absolutely loved him recently in the new Batman.
Not a good porn star, I'll say that, but a good actor.
Right, great actor. But yeah, I don't know, with these fucking remakes. The Total Recall remake was shit, but the RoboCop remake, I enjoyed it.
That's good.
I'm not ashamed to say I enjoyed it. I thought Joel Kinnaman was good in it. And you know, I thought that Samuel Jackson was a little over the top.
When is he not over the top?
Right, exactly.
I love the dude though.
But
he's good at it. But
Michael Keaton was a great villain.
Yeah, he's good at anything he does.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever seen him in a crap movie.
I listen. I loved him in Birdman.
Yeah,
I thought Birdman was one of those movies where it really showed his fucking range.
You know
what he can do.
Too? I think that's another thing with Hollywood. It's a little over politicized because I don't know what Keaton is left or right, and I don't really care. But he's a good actor. But you would think George Clooney's got absolute hits, and the dude's a way better actor. And I think it's more based on his politics. Like Clooney's like to me, he's not a bad actor. Don't get me wrong. He's like pretty average. I think I like Garrett Sinise. He was in Forrest Gump. He doesn't get enough work. Why? Politics.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I might not care for said politics or whatever, but like you should still be able to make a living regardless of what you do. As long as you're not hurting anybody, who gives a shit?
Frank Smith says he heard they're
thinking
of remaking Jaws. I really hope they don't, and there is a new Highlander in the works. Listen, they remade Jaws
Highlander
already.
Would be good.
They remade Jaws already. It's called The Meg, and it's wonderful.
No, The Meg was great. I saw that with the missus. But it wasn't a remake of Jaws. It was ridiculously good though.
Listen, the fucking Meg was everything you wanted it to be. Why?
Yeah, it was really good.
Because it didn't take itself seriously.
Hell no. It wasn't about, if we don't conserve these ocean waters, fuck that. There's a fucking huge shark that's eating people. A lot of Japanese.
And fucking goddamn, what's his face? I can't even think of his name right now.
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham has to fucking kill this shark somehow.
It would have been cool if he karate kicked him. I was like, hey, there you go. Break his neck.
Great.
That would have
Like
been awesome.
fucking Chuck Norris.
Oh yeah.
Steve Alcorn says Sharknado. Listen, say what you will about Sharknado.
It's fun.
Okay, I'm gonna throw myself under the bus as a parent right now. My son was all of 7 or 8 years old.
Jeez,
7 or 8 years old. Okay, and I want to say somewhere around there, maybe 9, maybe, I don't know. Sitting in bed one day, we had this huge bed. We would all sit and watch TV in.
Nice.
And my daughter's with me, and my ex-wife, and I'm going through Netflix, and this is back when Netflix was first, in its infancy. It was probably
just put anything on there that they could get
it was in the first few years that they were out. And I'm flipping through the stuff we can watch, and let's watch something today. Here's the stuff, boom, boom, boom. And I go past and I see Sharknado. And I start this fucking rant about who in their right fucking mind would watch Sharknado. What a bag of shit that fucking movie is. I've never seen it, never want to see it. I can't imagine who could live with themselves if they sat and watch that fucking movie. Now, mind you, the whole time I'm saying this, my ex-wife is trying to get my attention.
Yeah.
So that I can see the look on my son's face. Because my son had watched Sharknado.
Oh.
And he loved it.
I felt like a bag of shit. I felt like the worst father on the planet.
The kids like crazy shit, man.
Yeah, but I just trashed it, and he had watched it, and I was just and like I had trashed anyone who watched it.
Oh yeah.
So like the look on his face, Johnny, it was like I had just pulled out his heart and showed it to him and yelled, Kalima!
With dads, that happens. Like I took my son to go see Sonic the Hedgehog 2. He loves Sonic 1 was great.
Right.
2, I took him, we hadn't been to theaters in a while. We went. I fell asleep during the movie. I had to wake me up a couple times. She's like, yeah, man. It's the blue one Sonic, right? Like, yeah, it's good. You let him ramble. They're like, yeah, he did this. I was like, yeah, I saw that. That was great.
Yeah, that was a rough one for me. That one, I felt like such a horrible dad.
It's like a pulp flick, though. So, you go in there, like, what do you expect? Scorsese quality acting? It's going to be fun. That's all you're there for, just fun.
Yeah, it is what it is. You've got Ian Ziering as the fucking Quint character, for fuck's sake. What do you want?
I think he's lost appendages in all of them. He just chainsaws it up or shotguns it up. He just changes up every 3 minutes.
I'll tell you what, he was I don't know if anybody caught that fucking Swamp Thing series that DC put out for a little while, but he was in that. It was a rated R Swamp Thing series. And I think DC should fucking reboot that whole thing.
Dude, the original movie was great. I remember that movie when I was a kid. I thought that
movie was creepy as fuck.
It was awesome though. It was really good.
And they pulled it off with this series, I thought, and they canceled it because the whole DC universe online failed, and they moved everything over to HBO Max.
Well, it might be on Max then. I'll check it out.
I don't know if they moved the Swamp Thing or show over. I know Titans is over there now, which I enjoy that. But the Swamp Thing one, dude, the supernatural side of those comic books, I like the Constantine, like the Justice League Dark. That's some cool shit. So that's stuff that I gravitate towards. But that Swamp Thing show, dude, if you can find it to check it out, Ian Ziering plays a really cool part in it. He has an interesting character, let's say.
All right.
Yeah, I really like that, and I wish they'd continued it, but they fucking canceled it. So, but let's get into the news of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Alcorn will like this story from CBSNews.com. A woman bought a statue for $34.99 at a Goodwill in Texas. It turned out to be an ancient Roman artifact and likely looted. An ancient Roman bust that went on display at a museum in San Antonio, Texas this week has a peculiar backstory. In 2018, the bust was bought at a Goodwill store in Austin, Texas. The buyer, Laura Young, was shopping for objects to resell and had no clue she picked up an artifact dating from the 1st century BC or AD. The bust once resided in a full-scale model of a house from Pompeii in Aschaffenburg, Germany. I totally fucked that one up. According to the San Antonio Museum of Art, the display known as Pompajanum was built by Ludwig I of Bavaria. And during World War II, it was severely damaged by Allied bombers. The sculpture had mysteriously disappeared after Aschaffenburg was targeted. The U.S. military remained in the area until the end of the Cold War, and it is believed that an American soldier had the bust and brought it back to Texas, the museum says. Yeah. I'll let you guys check out this fucking thing. It is pretty interesting looking. Oh, I don't want the ad. There is the bust.
Wow.
Got mustard on it.
Look at the fucking goddamn little price tag. I love that. This thing is like an ancient artifact, and it's got the fucking Goodwill price tag on it.
Dude, how did nobody else notice that? That looks super legit.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. And that looks like something that you could literally find at a Goodwill. Like, I've been through Goodwills.
That's crazy.
You could find something that looks like that at a Goodwill.
I love that you put a seatbelt on it too.
Yeah. Well, it's an important artifact, Johnny.
Just put it in a book bag and leave it under the seat or something. It'll be fine.
She bought it for $34.99, Johnny. I mean,
jeez,
it was important.
$34. And how much did it come out to? How much did she get for it?
I don't know that she got anything for it. She might have gotten like a reward because it was stolen.
Yeah,
no way. Are you serious?
I saw this one and I actually read the article, and she did not get anything for it, but she was a great help in discovering what it was and bringing it forward. And she just feels satisfying knowing, that she gets to be part of the story. But no, she got zero compensation.
Yeah, that's why I can't be a good person. I would have just kept it. I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, bullshit. She feels like shit that they didn't.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. For sure.
Oh, that sucks.
Our next story of the evening from people.com. This is one that's been, it's still kind of going on, this whole weird story. 3 Americans mysteriously found dead at Sandals Resort in the Bahamas. Another one hospitalized. 3 Americans are dead and a 4th is hospitalized in the Bahamas on Friday due to unknown causes. 2 men and one woman were found dead at the popular Sandals Emerald Bay Resort on Exuma Friday, People confirms. It is with deep sadness that we confirm the passing of 3 guests at Sandals Emerald Bay on May 6, 2022. A representative for Sandals tells People. A health emergency was initially reported, and following our protocols, we immediately alerted emergency medical professionals and relevant local authorities, the statement continues. We are actively working to support both the investigation as well as the guests' families in every way possible during this difficult time. I'm not going to go too much more into that one. It is, it's changing all the time right now.
Well, they reported the 2 dudes that were found the next day next door that were dead. Look like they convulsed. So I'm starting to think it might have been bad liquor.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't remember if it was Jamaica or Dominican Republic a couple of years ago where a lot of tourists were dying, and it was like some shit alcohol they were mixing and they were refilling the bottles with,
Really?
and people were getting sick and dying from that. So it could have been that. They could have gotten a bad batch of boot. Like if you convulsing, and it's like
Yeah.
3 out of 4, I'm pretty sure it could be like bad alcohol or
Yeah,
food, something
and the
like that.
and these resorts, they do not like any type of bad press.
Oh no, it's
They hate it. So they don't like. Not only do they not want the press, they also don't want this type of shit happening.
yeah, but it's the
Because
same. It's the same thing with Disney World, isn't it? Like nobody's ever died at Disney World. You know that, right?
hey, shut the fuck up, Johnny.
No, seriously, look it up.
Nobody dies at Disney, Johnny.
Nobody's ever died. They've
Listen.
died en route to the hospital from Disney.
Listen, you get your ass off Disney property if you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You understand?
They'll fake a heartbeat till they get you out of those gates. They're like,
Walt,
oh, that's his heart.
Walt Disney will step out of cryo freeze and kill a motherfucker.
Out of Disney property, by the way.
Off Disney property.
There's like there's little certain points of Disney that isn't part of Disney. Like, oh, he died there.
If somebody dies on Disney property, Walt Disney will waltz his dead ass up to the CEO of Disney and stab him to death. Listen, that whole fucking nobody dies at Disney thing is fucking creepy.
That's the scariest thing. Considering everything they've done or been accused of doing, that's pretty scary right there, dude.
That's some creepy ass shit. That nobody dies at Disney. Bullshit.
I think there was a story somebody fell off one of the rides, lost their head, but suppose the guy was still alive.
Listen, he was like that headless chicken, Johnny. He lived for fucking like.
They basically have them reanimated in there somewhere, and he's just like, no, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Till he gets into the ambulance. Then all bets are off.
That's right. No problem. No problem. Our next story of the evening from thesun.com. Alien invasion. Texas worker films UFO plunging to the ground as shocking footage shows mysterious light in the skies.
Oh.
A worker claims to have filmed a UFO plunging to the ground as stunning footage captured a mysterious light zooming across the night sky. Connor of Amarillo, Texas, was working the night shift at a meat packing plant when he reportedly saw the streak of light. The 23-year-old said he felt compelled to record the lightning storm that was unfolding in front of his eyes. He added, "I've never really recorded the skies or anything, and that day of the storm, I really felt the need to record." Connor admitted he didn't know what the streak of light was. He said, "Best case scenario, it was a meteor, because I've never seen one. And worst case scenario, an alien invasion." I'm going alien invasion.
You must be so disappointed right now.
Yeah, no shit, right? He shared the footage online, prompting ufologists to speculate about what the clip showed. Some compared it to H.G. Wells' famous science fiction novel, The War of the Worlds. In the book, a meteor carrying hostile aliens crashes towards the Earth. Others believe Connor saw a meteor, but they were left stunned by the speed it moved across the sky. But skeptics believe the flash was a raindrop that caught the light. But Connor isn't ruling any theory out, as he said, "I do believe in intelligent life in space." I will let you check out this lovely image.
I have a friend that thinks every state has a UFO unit. So, like, if any crash, they're in there within at least 2 hours.
Of course they are. They're called the Men in Black. It's what you need. You need the Men in Black in every state. Every state. I don't know what that is.
I
don't know what it is. Could be anything. It's a flash of light. Now, granted, this was also during a lightning storm.
Yeah. The angle, though, is kind of weird. The line itself.
Yeah, the line is really straight, too.
Frank Smith says, aliens rock up to the meatpacking plant. Can we get some steaks and maybe some of those ribs to go? Good on you, Frank, on that one. So, yeah, that's an interesting story. It also goes into some woman's crazy where is it?
Chris, so
crazy
do
exciting.
you think we'll see that in our lifetime, like a legit landing, confirmation, and whatever species it talks to us?
Of a UFO and an
Yeah,
alien?
yeah. In our lifetime, do you
In
think
our
we'll see it?
lifetime. I think it's possible. I think it's completely possible. Do I think it's probable? No. And
No.
here's why. Because you have to look at statistically speaking. Statistically speaking, as far as we know, there has been no type of contact like that. You know, we can ancient aliens up this fucking bullshit all we
Yeah.
want, but nobody really knows what happened back then. I tend to think what people saw back then was a civilization that was on the decline, that was still around. I think that humans have amnesia and we forget our past, and that
Yeah, that's fair.
a civilization rose and fell, and that's why people were seeing flying machines and all kinds of other shit, was because there was a technologically advanced civilization on this planet before everything that is now. But do I think that it'll happen in our lifetime? I think that it's possible. I don't think that it's probable, because if you look at the amount of time, is it probable that it's going to happen in our lifetimes? Probably not, but it is possible. It's a complete possibility. Now, I think that the chances are, based on what I've seen lately, is that they're already here. And when I say that, I mean that they're I think that that something is hanging out here. There are too many of these reports of things coming out of the ocean.
Yeah.
And I think that if any alien being or equipment, and when I say equipment, I mean artificially intelligent driven equipment, and the best place for those to hide is going to be the ocean.
That's fair.
So I don't think they're going to hide in like a mountain or in the fucking woods here. The best place for them to hide is the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
It's vastly unexplored. We don't
It
have
definitely can't go. We did.
yeah.
So, yeah.
And like we can literally look at a fraction of it at a time. Like we just do not have the resources. So the best place for them to hide would be the ocean. And
Now
I
you
think
saying that you think they're lying in wait. So you think they're lying in wait for us to mess up and like attack
this
or to teach us something?
this is what I don't know, and these are the questions that completely go to speculation. So
Yeah.
what are here's the question: what are aliens? Are aliens beings from another planet?
I would feel like yes. They can't. They'd
Or
have to be foreign
or
from Earth.
or are aliens us in the future, evolve to a point that we don't recognize ourselves anymore, and watching us from afar? Now, if you look at all of the things that are happening with aliens, it seems like they're watching,
Yeah.
but they're not being all that intrusive. And that to me begs the question of, are they time travelers that are just hanging out and watching?
See, I feel like if you're a time traveler, you'd have to still be part of the human race, no?
Well, no, think about it. So at one point in time, we were a different species.
Yeah.
Now, if you take the human race and evolve it 100,000 years, what are we going to be? Are our heads going to be a little bigger? Are our eyes going to be a little bigger? Are our mouths going to be a little smaller? Are we going to start losing sexual definition? I mean, all of these things are already happening. Like men's fucking fertility is dropping drastically. I was just watching a news report that in Japan fertility is like tanking.
Oh yeah, it's really bad. But I think that's too. There's more men. There's a lot more men than women, no?
Yeah, it's I'm just saying it's scary, dude. I think that the fertility thing, it's what is going to happen to us. So I think that begs the question. That's another thing that begs the question. Like, what are aliens? Are aliens actually beings from another planet? Is there anyone out there that can actually get here? Or is it just people from our future? Like I said, that we don't recognize because they've evolved to a point that they look different from us.
Now, but if you put away like the physical aspect, like if they had technology, they would have to have technology far superior. Would you put them in the alien category then, or more time traveler or alien time traveler, as you said?
I would just say time travelers. Like,
Hmm.
so I wonder what these UFOs, I should say, are. Are they aliens or are they time travelers? But I think it's a question that begs being asked. Like, it does, just because we're seeing these things doesn't necessarily mean that they're aliens. An unidentified flying object is exactly that. It's an object that is flying through the air that we can't identify. That doesn't mean that it's alien. It just means that we can't identify it. So that's the thing that I think that we need to start asking the proper questions and looking at things in the proper way. And I don't know what they are. I'd love to know the fucking answer. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
think
cool.
you
Weren't they
know.
gonna do something with Area 51 a couple 2 years ago, and they didn't really
Oh,
do anything? It was like a
no,
Capone's vault.
yeah, people were gonna fucking try to run at fucking Area 51, and it wound up just being like a big party out in the desert.
No, but I remember specifically Trump said they were gonna drop some info. I think I was on the show with you guys at that time. You had Steve on, and there was a whole bunch of nothing redacted stuff.
Yeah, anytime they ever do any of those info drops, they're all dog shit.
It's just redacted stuff, and
Yeah, it's all just,
crossword puzzle.
oh, here's a bunch of stuff that not really. Like all the UFO stuff that's being released right now. Like,
Yeah,
you're
the
getting
Pentagon
some,
releases.
yeah, you're getting some good stuff, but for the most part, it's just a bag of shit. Like, it's the stuff that we got that's good was the videos. The stuff that they released because they had to, because what's his fuck released it on him. I can't remember his name. The guy that they let go from the Pentagon. Elizondo, I want to say, or some shit like that. It was, some weird name like that. But he came out of that and was like, "No, this is the stuff we're looking at." Like the Tic Tac UFO and the fucking the other one there. Yeah, that stuff is, and that's the stuff that's interesting to me. Like, what is it? But do I immediately go alien? No. I don't immediately go alien. But I don't immediately discount it either. I don't immediately say, no, it's not. It's not alien, or it's not anything strange.
Because like if it was a
definitely
time
strange.
traveler, the time traveler aspect of it would be me if they sent something back, right? Would probably be to prevent like a big catastrophe. That would make sense, especially if
Maybe
they just
not.
run and wait.
Maybe they're just trying to figure out what went wrong.
That too.
You never know. You never, like, I don't presume to know what beings hundreds of thousands of years from now would want to know about now. It may be that they're trying to find a specific moment in our history. We don't know. I don't know. Again, it could be aliens. It could be something completely different. Hell, let's go with another theory, Johnny. Maybe it's another race of people that's been on this planet that we don't know about, that are just in hiding.
I mean, yeah, but we usually do a good job of finding those races. Like,
But what
they
if they're
found
technologically advanced and hiding under the ocean?
like what, like Atlantis people? You mean?
Yeah. What if there's been like a civilization that's been hanging out here forever that we don't know about? They're just chilling. I mean, it could. The possibilities when you go down those rabbit holes, they're endless. Like you get into aliens and you get into the idea of a like I said, a civilization that was, insanely technologically advanced, much like we are now, then a lot of that stuff, those stories that people were telling back in the ancient history, make way more sense.
Yeah.
But also, here's another thing: people bullshit.
Oh, definitely.
People have always bullshit. So when I hear people on Ancient Aliens say, "Well, they drew it, so they must have seen it."
Yeah, they got a
No.
little too whack. I think the first season they were pretty like spot on. They wanted to do something, and then it just got wacky, and they lost all credibility. And it was like, whoa, man.
Most definitely.
And,
Yeah.
that happens with shows. Once you see, oh, wait a minute, this is getting traction.
It went
Spice it up a little
from
bit.
it went from a lot of really good salient points
Yeah.
about things to, well, as you can see, they were making pyramids all over the world, so it's got to be
Huh?
ancient aliens. Like
And so,
everything was fucking ancient aliens. Like
they did
this.
that shit, and then they didn't they do that show too? I think it was on the History Channel too, like Bigfoot Island, some crazy shit.
Oh, listen, the Bigfoot ones are even worse.
Yeah, I felt bad. I was like, dude, like, come on, man. Like, the people that I do think those are real. It kind of sucks when people shit on you. They think you're crazy or whatever. But then to have it on TV and they make you look even worse, it's like shit.
I have been a fan of Bigfoot for so long.
Yeah,
So long. Like I love the topic. I love sitting down and finding something new about it. Which is very hard to do nowadays for me.
Yeah.
But it has been the waters have been so muddied for me with all the bullshit, the hoaxing, the people that just want to believe anything, so they'll put up anything and they'll go after anything. It's ruined it.
Yeah, but I think there's a beauty to it too, to the fact that it's still the unknown, and that's beautiful, man. If you're not scared of it, it's a beautiful thing. One day you'll run into it.
Absolutely.
And then we'll bastardize it. Like we bastardize everything else in this country.
I'd love it if somebody could come up with some solid research.
Yeah.
I'd like it if somebody came out and they're doing good research and it was making sense and they're putting out that research, and not even if I'm not even expecting them to yield like insane results or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody who comes onto the scene who isn't just sensationalizing videos or whatever the case may be, evidence. Just show me somebody who is going out into the field and doing the goddamn work.
Yep.
Because if we're going to look for Bigfoot, it's got to be like when they look for a fucking animal that we know of. It's got to be like when they went and looked for mountain gorillas,
and
which
they
they
always
also
find
didn't believe in.
Yeah, they always find new species of something.
Right. So let's do it like that. Let's find somebody who's credible. Somebody like, one of these primatologists who wants to look into this. Let's put some money behind it and let's look for this thing. Let's stop looking at these fucking goddamn shows like Finding Bigfoot and Bigfoot Expedition and Bigfoot Touched My Private Parts. Like, I don't fucking need that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, Bigfoot carried me away and made me their love slave. Fuck you. Like,
it's just crazy, man.
The Willow Creek movie by Bobcat was good, okay? I can take that. Have you seen that, by the way?
No, I love Bobcat. I gotta definitely check that out.
Oh my God, that's probably Joe Rogan's right. It's probably the best Bigfoot movie you can watch.
Wow.
Yeah, I really think if you're going, bang for your buck Bigfoot movie, Willow Creek is probably the best one out there. It's a little off the wall.
Oh, it's a Bobcat movie, so yeah, it's gonna be off the wall a little bit.
But but at the same time, I think it captures a lot of the uh, the horror of searching for Bigfoot. It made it a good horror movie, really,
Okay.
all in all. So yeah, I won't ruin it for you. Definitely check that one out. Definitely fucking check that one out. But there was something else I wanted to go over in the news tonight. One more story. So I'm going to throw one more in tonight. From CNN.com. Not a big fan of CNN these days, but
How about CNN Plus?
you know, I heard they're doing really well.
Yeah. I
was
had a
thinking
joke that I quit my job and I started there. I was shining up my wooden Tesla waiting to start, and they were like, "Oh, hey, you got fired." You know what though? Shout out to the people that did work there. They got a severance package for doing literally shit. That's pretty
Nice.
dope. 8 months
Nice.
pay, take it.
Hey, I'll take that shit.
Oh.
It's too bad. I was thinking about signing up, Johnny. Anyway, from CNN.com, unexpected discovery reveals massive mysterious figures inside an Alabama cave. As a kid, I wanted to be Indiana Jones, and I know I wasn't alone in that wish. I would set out with a pail and shovel and a hefty amount of determination, digging in hopes of finding a fossil or buried treasure that belonged in a museum. I dreamed of crisscrossing the globe as easy as following a red line on the map to recover artifacts. Indiana Jones motivated me to stay curious and aspire to uncover the unknown. No fossils ever appeared in the dirt, but when I uncovered shards of a glass tray, my parents acted like it was the discovery of the century, rather than a remnant from a house that once sat on the property. Excuse me. Now I'm endlessly inspired by researchers who make discoveries all over the world, revealing a different kind of treasure that is even more dear: knowledge. Here are some of the recent eye-popping findings shared by intrepid scientists working in the field. I'm gonna just show these to you guys because I just thought this was cool that they just found these cave paintings, and they are pretty fucking interesting. So let you guys check them out and see what you think. There's this one here.
Oh,
wow. And there's the one up here, which kind of looks, I don't even know how to describe that one.
Wow.
It's like a different kind of tattoo.
Yeah. It looks like a fucking cool tattoo though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I would almost go with that. I would almost go with that one. So there's that one. I'm seeing if there's anything else.
Oh, also,
No.
breaking news: they caught those that convict escaped with the.
Did
ladies.
they?
No
they caught him.
way.
Yeah, they caught him on the highway.
No
Nice.
shit.
Yeah.
I've been following that. When did that happen?
It happened today, like 20 minutes before we came on here.
No shit.
No shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
Wow.
So they have caught the fucking what was their names?
Vicky
And Casey, I think, right?
Yeah, Vicky and Casey. They're both last names are White, but they're not
But
related.
they're not related.
Yeah.
I hope they're not for what they were doing.
No shit, right? Exactly. He was playing hide the pickle. Jesus. And she was playing hide the inmate.
She did it on the last day before she was done with her tour. She would have been done. She would have been retired.
Yeah, she'd have been retired. She'd have been able to fucking get her pension or whatever the fuck she had. Jesus. Why do people do this?
I hate to be dark, but I'm just glad she's still alive because
I thought he killed her. I kept saying that on our show.
I know.
I
I wasn't hopeful.
Oh God.
Jeez.
Hairy Man Hoaxes and Hoodwinks says Rick Dyer gave me a great interview on my channel. Well, hope you enjoyed it. Rick's an interesting character. We've had interactions with him over the years. I've never spoken to him. Steve has. Alcorn had. So Rick Dyer was a guy. He's well known for his Bigfoot hoaxes.
Yeah.
We
talked about him one time we were on here. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
Is it nice guy,
do you remember the Bigfoot in a freezer hoax?
No,
it actually hit like major news.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it hit major news networks like that. This dude had killed a Bigfoot, had it in a freezer, and it turned out to be just bullshit. And that was Rick Dyer. And he's done a few other things since, which have also been not as on the up and up. Let's just say.
So you're not a fan of the guy. Not bad. You're not a
Listen,
fan of the guy.
I'm not going to say that I'm not a fan of Rick. I think that Rick is an interesting character. I will say that. I think that when you look at Rick, you should just know that you're not going to get anything good out of him. Like, you're not going to get any good evidence out of this guy. Like, if you want to look at him for entertainment purposes, sure, great, good time, you know.
All right.
But if you're looking for quality Bigfoot evidence in the research community, you're looking in the wrong fucking place.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of those that are out there. I think that Matthew Johnson is also a horrible place to go for information about Bigfoot. Mr. Bigfoot is multidimensional, travels through portals, and can cloak. That's what Mr. Johnson believes. So it's such a fucked up world in any of these genres. Take UFOs, take Bigfoot, take ghost hunting, whatever the case may be. People are weird. And when you get into these little offshoots, these little strange little subgenres of the weird, people get even weirder.
Oh yeah, you're gonna just end up in some shit with the Hellraiser movie, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch that box, but you're gonna touch it, like, oh
yeah. Like, listen, I've been out in the field, and I say in the field, like out in the woods, on Bigfoot expeditions with some of these people, and I can tell you that it runs the gamut. You will meet some very interesting, nice people that are quality, good people.
Yeah.
You'll meet some fucking yahoos.
You'll meet some con artists, apparently.
Right. You'll meet some con artists. They run the gamut, dude. So it's just like life, but in a way, I think it can really beat you down if you're somebody who enjoys this subject and you go into it thinking you're going to go out into the field or into doing things with people, and you're going to constantly feel like this is a good thing that you're doing. You're going to lose that really quick. You're not going to feel like it's a good thing that you're doing, because it's constantly just bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned in all the years. I've almost been doing this show for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm working on 9 right now.
But you figure, like, the person that does find Bigfoot, they're sort of like, I dealt with all the bullshit. Everybody called me crazy, and look at me now. That's gonna be the way that ends when eventually they do find a Bigfoot. It's gonna be something like that.
Hey, if somebody pulls a fucking Bigfoot out of the forest, game on. I'm down. But somebody's got to do it first.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That's the thing. And so many people say, well, I see him all the time, or I fucking I talk to him all the time, or what are you fucking talking about? Then show me something.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that makes it so that I don't want to have anything to do with these communities. The people that take it too far.
Yeah.
I feed them. Do you?
You feed?
Do you really? You fucking jackass! I gift them things, and they gift me things back.
Oh God!
Oh.
It's like that's when you start like looking for your closest exit. Like, all right,
exactly.
Back up a little bit and run.
So, on that note, Johnny, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Thank you for coming on again.
Thank you for having me, man. It was a good time.
Hope you are able to get over your COVID quickly.
Yeah, I hope so, man. It sucks. Quarantine sucks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping I wasn't exposed to it myself. Ladies and gentlemen, you can always check out Johnny over at the Gas Digital Network. That's at gasdigitalnetwork.com. And you can also check him out wherever podcasts may be found. Just search for High Society Radio. That is the likes of Bronx Johnny, Chris Vega, and Chris Stanley, the man with two first names. And I have been listening to that show. I have not listened to you guys in a hot minute because I've been busy.
Oh, definitely.
But
Man.
anytime I have ever caught your show, and I gotta say, Stanley is probably like I don't want to say like the silent genius, because I don't want to give him that much credit. But fucking Stanley cracks me the fuck up, is what he does.
He's meant to do this. He's good at what he does, man.
Dude, he's fucking great. So, but I love it whenever I get a chance to listen to you guys. So, anybody that has a chance, check out High Society Radio. I do not think you will be disappointed. The guys will make you laugh. As always, check us out at anchor.fm/the Fortean Slip and wherever podcasts may be found. We are everywhere. Stitcher, fucking Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can download a podcast, you can get us. And check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/the Fortean Slip. It's where I post all of the memes, any updates. I posted the video of Una when she was all fucked up on the drugs, with a disclaimer saying, "Don't fucking do this." And then the trolls came and did their bullshit. That's always fun. And I am expecting something from Fred pretty soon. I don't know exactly when. He said within the next few weeks. I know he's trying to fit me in to do the new artwork for the show. And I did send out the money to MJ Hiblin to start on the image that you see behind us in the video right now, if you are watching the video live, or if you download the podcast, the image that comes up for the podcast, the cryptids playing poker, I commissioned a guy out of the UK, MJ Hiblin, to do his take on that, and he did give me a
dude. If you have a t-shirt of that, I'd pay for it. I love it.
What's that?
If you had a t-shirt for it, I'd love to get one of those.
Yeah, I'm actually, I think this year I'm going to do a t-shirt of the old cryptids playing poker for the show. I'm going to put those out because the last time I did a t-shirt, it did pretty well. So I'm going to do this one, and I just purchased a new artwork, so there'll be a new cryptids playing poker. And spoiler alert, it contains Cthulhu.
Oh.
So we will now have Cthulhu in the cryptids playing poker artwork. I like what he did with it. I really like what he did with it. I'm curious to see how it's going to come out when I get it. But hopefully I will get that the week of the 16th. I think he said he should have it done. So, but anyway, Harry Man hoaxes. I love for you to come on my show, Chris, to talk about hoaxes. I'll have to check out your show. Not huge on going on Bigfoot shows. I've done it.
Yeah.
But I'm not huge on it. Frank Smith says, great show as always. Take care, everyone.
Frank. Hope that big crocodile's good.
Frank's one of our longtime listeners from over in Ireland. The fucking weirdo. He's always up when we're up. Not like regular people over there. He has odd hours. So, and we will be back next week. Nothing crazy scheduled for next week. Don't know what I'm going to do for a topic. Don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going to come up in the news, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to stay tuned and just catch it when it happens. But until then,